Okay, this is the Pelican 1650, and this is the best case I could find to show up on a wedding day to take all of our gear, since we're a photo and film team. There's a lot of gear that comes with that, and there wasn't a bag that could fit everything. And also those little Pelican cases didn't fit, and there's so many options of these cases. So I was finally happy to have this, so I wanted to show you our setup for it. So inside there is a divider system that is a DIY version of Pelican's like trekpak system, but that system was like really expensive. And this is like the same thing, it's just corrugated plastic and like a foam divider thing. And there's tons of DIY things online that you can find on YouTube if you just search that. But yeah, so that is the system. It rolls, it has a little thingy that pulls it up. And it has made our life so easy being able to organize everything at the start of the wedding day, and then also at the end of the day organize everything in here instead of literally throwing it into a big bag. We went through a lot of systems between at first we had like 2 miniature camera bags pretty much, and I'd stuff everything in there, and it'd take me like half an hour to make it all fit and then show up, and we just have stuff everywhere. So now on a wedding day, all we show up with is this big case and also this bag. So this bag carries our tripods and also my harness and some other little things. Also, I do carry this Peak Design little bag on my shoulder throughout the ceremony and stuff, just so I can have batteries and backup equipment. But yeah, so now I kind of would love to just dive into everything we kind of bring with us on the wedding day. So inside of this bag, just to kind of get out of the way, we usually have the light tripods, which the lights are being used right now. I throw this thing in there, and then all of our other tripods that we use. We kind of have an assortment of tripods. This one I'm loving right now. It's the iFootage Gazelle something. This is the nicest tripod I think I've owned. It's super quick to just pull these tabs. And yeah, so that's kind of all that's in this bag. But now this is where the real goodies are. Okay, so inside of this case, for starters, in the corner, we have the drone. We don't use a ton. I feel like there's always so many restrictions when you're in the city and stuff, but when we can, we definitely love to fly the drone. I don't know what this is. I think it's the Mini 3. They're all pretty good now. My favorite thing about this, though, is getting the remote, whatever drone you get, with the screen on it, because on the wedding day, I feel like my phone's always dying. We're always using our phone for a timeline or something like that. So being able to just open this up saves me so much time, and it was definitely worth the extra 100, 150 bucks, whatever it was to get that. So we bring 3 Canon R6s. One of them's using for film, or 2 of them I'm using for film right now. So I usually have 2 on my, one with the 35, one with the 50 throughout the day. And Liv uses mainly a 24 or 70 on her camera. I can show your setup real quick if you want to hand that to me. So this is her camera. Just has a little rig, and then on the wedding day I'll have a monitor and mic and all that fancy stuff on it, but just so you can see, that's kind of the system we use right now. As far as ceremony and speeches go, we bring 3 Canon R7s with us. So those are all in here, and then so for those we have 2 options. We either have 2 of the 50 1.8s or we have 2 85s. So I have one of the 85 f2s and then the coveted Rokinon or Samyang 85 1.4, which I love, but then Canon obviously shut the operation down. But these are amazing. My favorite lens, the 51.2, and then for my 35, I use the 35 1.8, which has been good. Has been giving me some issues, so thinking about upgrading to that 35 1.4 this came out with. And then my favorite lens for like the reception time of the day for ceremony speeches is the 7200. I usually don't break this out until that, and usually don't use it for anything other than ceremony and speeches. But for those, being able to punch in extra close is amazing, and it's worth every bit of what we paid for that. And this corner over here is all the audio. So I make sure everything is labeled super well. So on these, I have the audio for the DJ, the groom, and the bride. So we'll make a separate video breaking down everything we do with the audio. And also with the DJ mics kind of as a backup throughout the day too. So in one little slot over here, we have Liv's monitor. And then we went with the OCO something for that, the Lomon. We did a lot of research on like what the best budget was. Because at the end of the day, we just needed a bigger screen for it to see. And this one has worked really well. And then obviously, like I said, We have two of the 50s 1.8s, which these are super cheap, but also super good, especially just for like a ceremony standstill shot. I think it does amazing. For the price of that, it's unbeatable. Then over here, we just have some extra goodies. So I have my flash that I'll use during the reception. Liv's flash, or constant light that she uses for the dancing part of the day. And then we have a pocket designated for fresh batteries, and then we have a pocket designated for dead batteries, which is super important because we're burning through so many batteries, so it's so nice to just have a designated spot. Like, okay, this is where the good ones are, this is where the bad ones go. Then we just have all the cables for DJ mic, Liv's mic throughout the day, and in this pocket over here is where we put the mics, or this pocket over here is where we put the lights at, which we're using right now, and we use the Aperture 60X. They're super cheap for what they do. The batteries are honestly more expensive than the light, but I think they do super good. Adding two of these across the room for reception and speeches has really changed our production level, and being able to control it from your phone like super easily is so amazing. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about that we bring on the wedding day is we bring this little miniature Canon selfie printer and a photo album. If we have time, especially if there's a longer dinner, we will try, or I'll try to edit a bunch of photos on Lightroom on my phone real quick, and I'll make a video of that whole system of that. But yeah, so that's the printer we use for that. We'll print them, and then Liv is usually in charge of stuffing them into the album, and it always blows the couple's mind, and it's so amazing to just give them something physical to take away from the wedding day. But yeah, so that's a wrap on everything we bring to the wedding as far as bags. The Pelican 1650 case, I could not recommend enough. It has really changed our game. I know it's so silly because it's just a case, but at the end of the day, like, it helps us organize and show up with a clear mind and leave knowing we have everything.